Hey, what's going on? Happy Tuesday. I started a couple minutes early tonight. I wanted to give everyone a chance to see the invite and get in here. So before we got started, so we'll wait a couple more minutes before we jump into it. Ronders, how you doing? Third Coast, Josh Herman. Hey guys, come get your podcast. Are you guys listening to Come Get Your Podcast? Paco, how's it going? Strong Arm, how you doing? Just a couple minutes here. We'll get started. Anybody working on anything cool? I know Paco's staining a fire table. I know he's doing that, or he's already done with it. Alright, which one of you is it? Is it Dustin, Chris, or totally not Adam? A fuming chamber? For what? What are you fuming? We're going to get started here in just a couple minutes, guys. Maybe all three of you are watching? You set it on fire. I knew it. Oh, nice. GR, what's going on? How you doing? Fuming Artidokinate. That's pretty awesome. So we'll wait in a couple minutes. I'll do a shout out here. Got these made. Aren't these cool and super soft? Yep, we're doing chainsaw mill today. So this was Gary, Rustic Art Design. Hooked me up with these. Got these made for me. I would recommend him, Rustic Art Design. I know he's in here. These are very nice, very soft, very comfortable. I like the way they turned out. A lot. I'm going to be ordering more soon because I'm already running out. So let's see, what time is it? Alright, it's 9 o'clock, so we're going to get started. So my name's Josh, Slumberyard Handcrafted. So today we're going to talk about Granberg chainsaw mill. So I own the small mill, the small log. So this is the G777, I believe. Yep, G777. So, has anyone thought about getting into milling? Want to do their own milling? I know Grain Farm, you just bought one. You showed me that. Anybody else interested in getting into milling? I would. I definitely would. I got into it because I like woodworking. In our area, we do have violent storms. So there's always logs around. People are pretty willing to give you a log. Tree services will bring you a log sometimes. You don't want this stuff to go to waste, go to a chipper, go to a burn pit. So I would definitely get it. It's a very small, not to say small, it's not a huge investment to get into it, especially if you go the chainsaw mill route. If you get into something like the big bandsaw mills, I mean, you're spending $5,000 at least up. So the chainsaw milling is a nice entry level. That's how I'm going to do it. Just move up from there. The nice thing I'll say about the small one is that you can upgrade it. So this is the way I started. I bought a small, so it does up to 20 inches, logs 20 inches in diameter. And then I paired it with an 18-inch Husqvarna, which, I mean, you can find these. I got this one at Northern Tool, I believe. Relatively inexpensive. It's not too bad as far as chainsaw goes. And this pair that does a lot. It does a good bit of what you'll see out there. It's not going to do big stuff. But up to 20 inches, I mean, anything bigger, that's hard to handle by yourself especially. So um, that's why I went with the small one. I do plan on upgrading, and the nice thing about this kit is you can buy longer rails, and you can go, I mean, it goes up to like 84 inches or something like that, so you can go crazy. I mean, you know, I think with the next upgrade I'm going to go to 36 inches, and then you have to buy, from that you got to buy a bigger chainsaw and a bigger bar. So it's not a huge investment. It's kind of like, if you want to just get into it just as like hobbyists or in addition to your woodworking, get the small one, start there. You can always add on to it for deeper logs, larger diameter logs. So it's the G777. It's the small one. So a few things I'll just show you real quick. When you get it, a lot of you guys have chainsaws and such, you get this little scrunch tool. First thing you do, plunge it into this. It'll keep it there no matter what you're doing. Before I did that, this thing was getting lost. I was leaving it in the garage, everything. Plunge this into here. That rubber handle will keep it secured. I mean, it's not going anywhere. It does rattle a little bit. It's not bad. But it keeps it handy, because you'll notice when you make your first cut, you'll change the depth, and as you go into the log, you may want different thickness. You know, you may want some 2-inch, you may want some 4-inch. So you can have that tool right there, grab it, and change your depth. So to change your depth it's actually marked on here. It's kind of hard to see with the glare, so I'm going to try my best here. It's actually, this depth post is measured, and you just loosen these two U-bolt nuts here, and then it'll slide up and down wherever you want. I mean, you know, it gets pretty big. Is that 13 inches? You can cut 13 inches. I mean, you're making posts or something. I don't know. Speed of cutting. Speed of cutting, that all depends. Depends on what kind of chain you're using, what kind of chainsaw you're using. So it's hard to give an answer. I have heard, and I guess I would say, about a foot a minute is actually pretty good if you have a ripping chain. It depends on your setup. 5 feet, 20 minutes, yeah. Say a 5 foot, 15 to 20 inch log. I would say maybe 10 minutes, maybe 8 minutes, somewhere in that range. Depending on the saw you're driving with, that's really in the chain. They do recommend getting a ripping chain to go along with your chainsaw. So I would do that, definitely would do that. It just helps you out. It does dull out faster, I do believe, so you do have to keep it on sharp. That's the other thing too. Keep the chain sharp. It's going to help your chainsaw not overwork itself. So keep that files close by. I sharpen them in a log maybe halfway through or so. I just do it real quick. Nothing too wild, not grinding it down too bad, but like maybe halfway through the log I'll grind it, the chain up, keep it nice and clean, so it's cutting really well. So basically, if you guys aren't familiar with how this works, is someone asked me how you make your first cut, because your first cut is the most critical cut of them all. So you have to get that flat on the, you know, this way and this way. So I was going to bring a log in here, but it's raining cats and dogs outside. Everything's soaking wet, so it would not have been good. The way I do it two ways depending on how big the log is. One is I use a ladder, just an aluminum extension ladder, and then I secure it in 4 spots at either end. I just have some loops that I put, and I actually drill down into the log. And then from there, you make your first cut, and you have a nice level surface because you're riding on that ladder. You're using these bars, it rides like this on that ladder. It's flat. So after you get the first cut, and that's the most critical cut, subsequent cuts, you just ride on the log where you just cut it. I'm sure you guys have seen videos of how this is done. If not, check out the Granberg website, YouTube, ton of resources there to look at that stuff. But every subsequent cut will be done on the last one. So once you cut this one, pull that off, wipe it, give it a sweep, and repeat. It's not that fast, but there you go. So that's really it. I mean, this handle is adjustable. That's why you keep your wrench handy. This handle's adjustable depending on how big a log. You might want to move it over here a little bit, wherever you're kind of centered. You want to keep it from wanting to do this. So move this handle wherever you see fit. And this little guard is just a plexiglass little guard. Anybody have any questions about this? Any questions at all? Kind of went fast. There's if you go on the Granberg website and you register with them, they'll mail you some information, email you. I think you can get a sticker. I'm not 100% sure, but I think you can get a sweet sticker. I think I have one. Oh, no. Yeah, here we go. You can get one of these. Yeah, loops. So I just use it's like braided. It's like steel braid. That's what I use. People use all kinds of different things. That's what I use. It does pretty well. It's like steel braided line. You can also use, there's like aluminum flexible. It's got a bunch of holes in it. I'm not sure what it's called, but I've seen people use that too. Just basically what you want to, when you're figuring this out, you want to keep a flat plane. So you want to attach that ladder so it's not going to rock and back. I will say that Granberg does offer several options for this. I know you can't read the text, but you might be able to see the pictures. So there is a rail kit that you can purchase. See how that gives you like a nice level. That's what you want. So that's what you're basically doing with the ladder. So they do have a kit like this. They also have this option here. This is 2 bars that go on either end of the log, and then you run 2 straight 2x4s across it. Then you use that to make your first cut. And then after you make your first cut, you can take all that stuff off and just run after your last cut, pull the slab off, next one, pull it off. So I would recommend getting one of these options. I chose the ladder option because I had a ladder. For small logs, I just use a 2x6, and I attach it at 4 points. It depends on how big the log is. I'm not going to break out a ladder for a really tiny little log. So I just use a piece of 2x6. 6 inches is wide enough to keep this from wanting to rock. So especially if you get that handle in the right spot to run right down there. So, and Granberg, I mean, they offer a ton of different pieces of equipment. In our house, we grind by hand, but not all people do that. I get that. So they do have grinding options, mechanical grinders. That'll take all the work out of that for you. Yeah, and as far as the Granberg as a company, I mean, look them up. It's family owned. It's a really great company. It's got a really rich history. So I do recommend. You can't read any of that text. I just hope you're looking at the pictures. So it's a pretty good company. I mean, they make some monster mills. I mean, look at that one. It's huge. I don't know what they go up to, but they get pretty big. Actually, it should tell me in here how big they go up to. 84 inches. So you can 84-inch wide tree, wherever you find that at. You could cut that up if you had a chainsaw big enough. So anybody got any more questions about chainsaw milling? A note, I don't know if you guys are really familiar, when you do sharpen your chain, you do change the rakers depending on if it's softwood or hardwood. And that should be in your grinding filing kit. There should be instructions how to do that. Look on YouTube, there's really some good information on how to sharpen your chain there. It'll tell you how to sharpen it. Most of the stuff I do is hardwood, so I just kind of keep it on a hardwood setting as far as that goes. Any other questions? You guys got anything else? Nothing else on that. So, oh, who owns a chainsaw? Anybody? Show of hands here. And who owns a chainsaw? Are you guys Husqvarna? Are you Still? Are you Steel? Are you Echo? What are you guys running? I'm a Husqvarna fan myself. I like them, but I've heard it's Pepsi and Coke. I know Echo makes some that are pretty okay. There's a few other brands out there. I'm just curious to see what everybody had, see what everybody's running. So any other questions about lumber milling? Like I said, I think out the door for a setup with a small log and that, I think it's in the 600 range. I mean, it's not bad. I'm pretty sure it's in that range for you get a chainsaw and the small one and you could be cutting stuff up. So as far as what kind of chainsaw, this is important. I will say this. I don't know if you guys can see this graph and if it makes any kind of sense to you, but basically it's kind of the engine size curve for what kind of bar you're going to use. So they recommend a minimum of 50, and from there, you know, basically depending on the bar size is how much more of a larger CC chainsaw you need. So pay attention to that because that does matter. So this PDF is on the Granberg website. So if you're ever curious, if you're like, oh, I want to jump up to like a 36, what should I be running? So you're looking at 90 plus from there. And you guys like that? I reversed this image for you, selfie mode, because you guys are important. I did that. It wasn't easy, but I did that. It's kind of cool. So any other questions about milling? I'm going to move on to a couple other things that I got. So any other questions? I feel like my camera stand is crooked. All right, so a shop tip. This one's, it's like a shop tip, and it's also like everybody could use this, not just, but we as woodworkers, we have access to woods, and we could be nice guys by doing this. It's that season when all the coolers are getting put away. They're getting put back in the sheds and the garages and the attics and stuff like that, wherever you store your coolers. Do yourself a favor and throw a piece of cedar in your cooler if you're not doing it already. Unless you have like a cedar allergy or something, then don't do that. But you will thank me in spring when you open that cooler up. It's not going to smell disgusting. It is going to smell like sweet, sweet cedar. I do it all the time. I do it every year. I throw a piece in there. I keep the cooler in the garage anyway, so it is close at hand. But we as woodworkers, we usually have pieces of cedar laying around. Even a small chunk, even just a piece like that big, like just like a 4-inch piece, will do the trick. Hand them out to your neighbors. It's a cool thing. Just be, hey, toss this in your cooler. It won't stink when you open it up in the spring. Keeps the moisture down, absorbs all that stuff, keeps all the bugs out of it. So that's my shop tip. Cooler, throw a piece of cedar in it. It's going to smell amazing when you open it up. All those Capri Suns in the spring will smell like cedar. Safety tip. Here's a safety tip for the milling. Steel toe shoes. That's important. You should wear a helmet if you're working with anything overhead, especially. Sunglass or eyeglass protection. Gotta wear that. And I would wear a mask too, because when you're milling hard on that chainsaw. That thing is wide open. You're gonna get a lot of fumes, a lot of dust. So wear a mask, something. A lot of people just use like a handkerchief or something over their mouth. Something so you're not breathing that stuff in. A mask is probably a better way to go. But wear something like that. Keep that stuff out of there. I've done it without before, and it's a big difference. I hate the way my nostrils are all full of dust, and I smell chainsaw fumes the whole time. So wear a mask when you're milling. It's important. Don't forget. So, and here we are to the part of the show where, do you guys remember how this giveaway extra entry is going? Does anyone remember the phrase so far? How we're doing? we're kind of at that point right now. This is the end. This is the last one. So does anyone remember how the phrase goes? Bum, 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 bum. This is for your extra entry. Anyone remember? You can say it because you're all. If you get it, you're all gonna get it. So I'm gonna tell you it anyway. I'm just curious if anyone remembers how far we are. You know, there's a delay, so I'm gonna wait a minute, see if anybody comes up with it. Phrase that pays. Yeah. Phrase that pays. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. I'm just a sucker. There we go. But we had another. We got a little farther. I'm just a sucker for. Any guesses? If anybody guesses how it finishes, I'm just a sucker for. If anybody guesses it right now, they will get an additional entry on top of the additional entry. So anybody guess it? I'm just a sucker for blank. One word. I'm just a sucker for what? Nothing? Nobody? I'm a sucker for pizza. I am a sucker for pizza. It's close. Slabs is close. You guys are going to have such a leg up on everyone else because they're not going to know what this is. Alright, so here it goes. So, my close enough to 1K giveaway is going to feature this. I don't know if you guys have seen my videos, my lives. I'm going to give one of these away to somebody with a battery, with a charger, because this doesn't come with it, so you're going to get a battery and charger on this guy. It's my close enough to 1K giveaway. I'm like 9:15 or something, and I'm just like close enough, I want to give something away. I bought one of these. It is so awesome, so useful. I bought it to use it for trim work, and I use it for all kinds of stuff now. I'm making little crafty stuff. My wife's using it. My son uses it now. So it's really handy. No compressor, no hose. It is just a battery. It doesn't need a gas cartridge or anything. It's pretty slick. You guys probably saw in the previous lives how this, and you guys have seen other people use them. Everyone's featuring these things now because they're so wicked awesome. So I'm going to give these guys one away. So this is going to be the standard like, repost deal. Sorry. I'm sorry I'm doing that. But you're going to get an extra entry because you're going to send me a message, just DM this phrase. I'm just a sucker for grain. And there it is. I'm just a sucker for grain. So, that's what we're going to use. So, just send me a DM with that phrase. I'm just a sucker for grain. Send that in a DM to me. That's probably going to become my hashtag going forward, so I can kind of track some things. So, be kind of cool. It kind, because it's from the song. I'm just a sucker for pain. And I was like, oh, that kind of sounds like grain. So let's use that. I'm just a sucker for grain, and I am a sucker for grain, totally. So I'm just a sucker for grain. Shoot me a DM with that. And you will get an extra entry. I'm going to post the giveaway later tonight, maybe in the morning, depending on if I can get the artwork done, or I might just do it rough and just get it done tonight, because I'm really excited. There's been so many giveaways going on right now. I'm not going to name any one specific because I don't want to make that weird if I win, but there's so many giveaways going on right now. You guys, you can just look around. I mean, there's giveaways everywhere. So make sure you're entering. There's really good stuff around there. So this is going to be a like, repost, tag your friend. I'm going to try to give you guys as much opportunity to get extra entries as you want. So if you do the work, you get more entries. That's just the way it's going to go. So send me the DM. I'm just a sucker for grain. And you get an extra entry to that giveaway. So does anybody have any other questions? Anything? Oh, Eddie's on. Eddie, you missed it, sir. You missed it. I'm going to tell you anyway, because you're here. So the magic phrase, Eddie, is I'm just a sucker for grain. So send me a DM, Can I start over? Yeah. All right, we're going right back to the mill. So this is the Granberg small mill. No, Eddie, I'm not going to start over. Be on time. My goodness. Unless you had something going on that I don't know about. Encore, do it again. All right, the next showing will be in 15 minutes. Just tune back in. You can catch the second show. I'm just a sucker for grain, Eddie. That's what it is. I'm just a sucker for grain. I thought it was kind of a cool, catchy little thing. It's going to be my hashtag going forward. I'm just a sucker for grain. So send me a DM. You will get an extra entry to win this. And I've also decided, because, well, you guys decided, that I'm going to add a prize pack to it. Because I did one of those polls that everybody loves on the stories. Loves those cute little polls. The yes, no. I don't know. I've never done one before, so I thought I'd do it. So, but it was a resounding yes to that. I've got the bigger Granberg on a 660. Nice. That's why I said yes to yours. No, it was just fun. I was just goofing around. But I was like, would anyone say no to a prize pack? Would anyone be like, no, I don't want him to add a prize pack. I want to click no. So it's like, who wouldn't want a prize pack? I mean, come on. Yeah, exactly. Who doesn't? Who doesn't want a prize pack? So I'm gonna do something fun with the prize pack though. Not next Tuesday, because Eddie's gonna be in town. I hear, right, Eddie? You coming into town? You're going to show everyone how to use some hand tools, including me. I'm a little embarrassed, Eddie. I'm a little embarrassed because this is my hand plane selection that I own. It's the bad, cheap one that no one likes. So this one, it's like a $30. It's okay for what it is. It's cheap. But it's cheap. It's not very good. So I'm hoping Eddie's going to bring us some stuff to look at, some nice hand planes, some other nice hand tools. I don't know if he's got some chisels he could bring. We just do a little demo and stuff and just kind of look at that stuff. Maybe he could show us. I would really like it if Eddie could take a second and show us how to sharpen tools, because I'm really bad at that. Chisels and even these little blades. I'm bad at that. So Eddie, if you could bring something that could show us how to do that, that'd be pretty sweet. I do have to shout out as well Ryan at Magnolia Woodworks for sending me this shirt. It's pretty sweet. It's comfy. It's a nice color blue. I do like that a lot. So if you guys got t-shirts to swap, like I said at the top of the show here, I now have t-shirts thanks to Gary at Rustic Art Design. So if you want a shirt, you want to swap a shirt, I will wear it on these lives and give you a little shout. But that's it. I'm going to post that giveaway probably tonight. So if anybody doesn't have any other questions, that's kind of a wrap. I don't have anything else. Oh, I've segued off of it. The giveaway prize pack. We're going to do something cool with the giveaway prize pack. Not next Tuesday because Eddie's coming into town. The following Tuesday, we're going to do some prize pack fun. I don't have a sponsor for this giveaway. This is all stuff I buy to give away because close to 1,000 people wanting to see what I do is pretty sweet, so I'm going to reward that. So this is stuff that I purchase. I'm going to walk into Home Depot with a cart on my... not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after that, on the live. I'm going to grab a cart, and I'm going to walk around and pick stuff off the shelves and put that in as prize packs. And because it's a live, you can suggest things that you want in the prize pack. Now, how cool is that? Come on, guys. How cool is that? Who's done that? Come on. Who has had something like that going? I'm sure someone did. I'm sure I'm not being original here. But that's pretty cool. So I'm going to grab a cart. I'm going to be live. I'm going to walk around and just pick stuff off the shelf and just say, you're going in the prize pack and you're going in the prize pack. So it's not going to be anything crazy like other tools. It's going to be like sandpaper and screws and things like that that are cheap, that are cool giveaway pieces. But if there's something that you want, you're like, hey, I've always wanted to try those Spax, screws that everyone's going gaga over. I'm a GRK kind of guy anyway, but if there's something you want, shout it out in the live, and I'll put it in the prize pack. So we're going to do that. I'm going to do it at Home Depot. Yeah. Just go over and grab that rigid miter saw or that DeWalt table saw that's over there and just put that in there, you know. Put that in, it's in the prize pack. So that's what I'm going to do. So next Tuesday we're with Eddie talking about hand tools, hopefully some sharpening stuff. And the Tuesday after that we're going to do a fill the basket prize pack live. It's going to be kind of fun. So think about things you want in that prize pack. Any other questions? I'm going to let you guys go for the night because I got stuff to do. I know you do too. So any other last questions? I'll give it a second. Buy one of these Granbergs. They're awesome. Oh, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Hopefully we're going to get this growing, get some more people watching, get some cool things. I'm going to try to get some more Illinois woodworkers of Instagram buddies to come on here. I got Eddie coming in, so we'll see if he gets more. Speaking of which, I'm gonna trail off one more time here. If you guys live in Illinois or surrounding states, send me your sticker. Send me a DM with your information, and I'll give you my information to send the sticker. And I'll send you a sticker of mine back. But get on this board. I don't know if you guys saw my video earlier. I kind of messed up, and I said, hey, if you come to these meetups, you can get your sticker on the board. Well, that's really lame because not everybody can make the meetups because they're all in Chicagoland area. Because that's the densest area of the woodworker area that we have. So send me a DM. I will send you my address back. I'll get you put on the board. So I know there's a few of you. Grain Farm, I have your sticker, but it's on my fridge. So if you send me another one, you should have my address. I'll get you put up on the board. Anybody that lives in Illinois and the surrounding states, we'll get you put up on the board. So any other questions? I'm going to sign off. Yes, get stickers. Sticker Mule is who I use. They're pretty good. I know there's another couple other companies. Sticker Mule is fast, and they're not very expensive. So that's why I like them. Alright, so I'm going to put this in the comment section here, just so everyone can see it again. I'm just a sucker for grain. There you guys go. So send that to me in a DM so I know you're watching. What year is it? Mail? Email. Sucker for grain. Send that to me in a DM. You get an extra entry. Alright guys, I'm going to take off. I will see you next week. We'll be here with Eddie talking about hand tools. Hopefully some sharpening things so you guys can see how that's done. Alright, bye guys.